He doesn't understand why they don't call Boy George Girl George,
right.
because that would save him a lot of issues. And his daughter calls him out.
Yeah.
Dad, you're so old.
Yeah.
Did you notice the name of the magazine he was reading?
No, what was it?
Cream.
Cream? Mm-hmm. I for some reason, I just saw teen. I thought it said like teen.
It says Cream Magazine.
Cream. Did you look it up without having to...
It's a magazine. I've heard of this magazine before. It's like a rock magazine.
Okay.
That apparently his daughter...
I just don't know what hits I would get on here if I just look up Cream Magazine. Is it Creme? Or C-R-E-A?
A monthly American music magazine.
Okay.
No, it's... Maybe it was spelled with 2 E's, but I think it was spelled in cursive, so I thought it was an A.
Yeah.
But it's cream with 2 E's.
Okay.
It's a little less sexual, I guess. Yeah, that's another weird thing that happens in this opening montage is his daughter's cooking for him. It is the most idyllic, cheesy thing. She, even at the end of their wonderful day of eating ice cream and feeding deer and wrestling and learning karate, she writes him a... And it seems to be... All that was done before noon.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you got to think he wants to get it for the heat's done. For the heat's done.
His daughter gets up at 5. He gets up at 4. Yeah. And they're at it.
Yeah.
He's like... When she gets up, she makes breakfast. So when he comes back from chopping a tree down, he has breakfast.
Breakfast is ready.
And they're like, we're good. Let's go train. And then we'll go find the deer. We'll fish. They fish. Yeah. And then we'll go to town and get some ice cream.
How many eggs do you think Arnold needs
12.
After 12 eggs? 12. Yeah, he needs a whole...
They just have carton on carton. And she and at the end of that jaunt of 7 hours in their day, she makes him a lunch. She writes a note, and he's like, it says, "I love you, Dad." And he's like, "Oh, I love you too." And then there's nothing on the counter that is weird.
No.
Tomatoes, mayonnaise, condiments, lettuce. And then they sit down, and he takes a bite of the sandwich, and he goes, "What's in this?" And what does she say, Marcus?
I don't know, or
she said, you don't
want to know. You don't want to know. Sorry.
And he's like, And then it cuts to the big dramatic part with the helicopter. But like, what do we think she put in there?
Maybe I think I was trying to look too. Maybe I saw some sprouts in there.
I was about to say some alfalfa sprouts. Maybe he's like, this is a pussy vegan. I need meat. My body doesn't run off vegetables.
But just like raw deer, raw dough that she got just killed that dough.
Because he reacts as if it's like it would be like salt and vinegar potato chips or something like that she slid in there.
You don't want to know.
But anyway, it was a weird scene, and then we get General Kirby.
Kirby coming in,
and he's letting him know this one, like your car dealership friend and your and your science teacher friend are gone. Bennett's gone too. And that's how the movie starts. It's a wonderful start. Great start to a movie. I make fun of that montage. Yeah. Love it now.
Oh, yeah. Easily. It sets up everything.
It does.
Yeah. It's confusing when you're a child and you're just like along for the ride with it, really.
Like, I would like to be Arnold's child.
Yeah. That's all you're thinking about.
I did. What a great dad he is. And he's single-minded in his pursuit. And then we get our first big action scene. Basically, Kirby leaves, and then...
leaves him with two of his best trained men who...
The fucking moment Kirby leaves.
Right.
It makes you think Kirby is doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the moment that helicopter is still in sight, Schwarzenegger's like, picks his daughter up and runs because all of a sudden there's 30 soldiers that are hiding within 10 feet of all of this.
Just, in the bushes, just everywhere. Have their guns ready, at the ready, and they just start firing. And
we get to see Matrix in action.
Yeah, we do.
It's glorious.
It is. Like, he does a lot of fun kills in this one immediately. Yeah. Yeah,
and we get like a little taste of what comes later when he goes into his gun cabin and the exterior thing. Yeah. Did you notice the code he puts in?
No.
It puts in 133. Which is the equivalent of 911 in Austria.
Oh, okay.
Fun little fact there. That. So he goes in, and you get what every kid wants.
Yeah.
You get a secret fucking door with guns in it. That's all I want.
Yeah, that's all any kid wants.
Here's what I want. I want an arcade in my basement. I know I'm stunted, but an arcade bar in my basement. Mm-hmm. And the bar is a gun safe. That's all. I'll retire when that happens. Yeah.
Or even like you have, Dr. Go or Dr. No, the arcade cabinet that opens up
That's
to
sick.
you put in a combination on the pad.
Wow,
And
that's
then
good.
bam, that opens up.
Yeah, or your liquor bar behind you opens up to reveal guns.
Or you're just a badass who has an arcade, and then your guns are just on the wall.
That's too redneck for me. But so anyway, he gets that, and of course, what he gets later in that regard is insane. So that's the opening. He of course kills all these men. His daughter gets kidnapped. We're off to the fucking races. It never stops. This movie gets you so much. Siskel says he wishes the action, like the big action, would have started sooner.
Right.
Nah, he's wrong.
Yeah.
He's wrong. I respect him.
What would we had to build up to?
Yeah.
It would have been like you can't keep that energy for the whole movie.
I'm sorry, Siskel.
Yeah.
You're wrong. This movie is paced perfectly. There are, I'm sure there's moments you can cut out, but I don't. Just because you cut those moments out, I don't think it's to get to those moments, the big action sooner. I think it's just because they're unnecessary.
Right. We have great car chases throughout. We have good one-off deaths.
The humor is always there.
Yeah.
And we get, of course, fresh from The Crow. We
Yep.
get our boy who played T-Bird.
Yeah. David Patrick Kelly.
David Patrick Kelly, and probably somehow a creepier role.
Yeah, the most memorable. Like he's the one bad guy who I mean, besides Bennett, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember Cook and Bill Duke and everybody, but yeah, Sully is just like this 5'2".
Hey, what are you doing? Why are you? I got something I'd like to show you. Maybe I have an impression.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. What's his name?
Sully.
So I do my SNL audition. It's like,
yeah.
this is my...
So,
No, the actor's
David
name.
Patrick Kelly.
This is my David Patrick Kelly impression. And of course, like any man in the 80s, 90s, and even now, when she's more polite than she ever needs to be, because he is, at this point, harassing her. Follows her to a car. This is Ray Longcham's character.
What does he say after she turns it down?
She goes, no, okay. After saying no several times, she finally goes, just leave, okay? And he goes, fucking whore.
So
Jesus. And she didn't even approach him. He interrupts her phone call.
Yeah.
It's just, you don't like him right off the bat.
Yeah.
You don't like Sully. And Sully is at the airport, and Sully has a great death.
He does.
He has one of the more memorable deaths.
Yeah.
Because Sully's a funny guy, and Arnold says, I'm going to kill you last.
Yeah.
And then we get, after the big Porsche, I thought his car was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He has a 911, Porsche 911 yellow.
Yeah.
Woo!
It's hot.
Being a mercenary pays well.
Not for car dealership guy or but
You got to be on the right side.
yeah, you got on the right side. Yeah.
And Sully gets killed because Arnold catches up with him.
Yeah.
And says, holds him by his... And apparently the director wanted to see if Arnold would do that by himself.
Yeah.
So the scene is that Sully is being held upside down by his ankles by Arnold, just with one hand.
One hand, yeah.
And the director wanted Arnold to do that by himself. But no, they eventually use the crane, and it ends with him going, hey, Sully, I told you I'd kill you last. That's right, man, you did! I lied. And they talk about how when they were going to see this movie, like the producers and stuff, the audience would chant that with them because it was in the trailer and everyone just loved it already.
They're like, how did they know this was coming? Like, oh yeah, it was the trailer.
It was in the trailer.
Yeah.
Great trailer.
Yeah.
What are some other memorable stuff for you, Marcus?
Before we get to like the gun room,
got a fun airplane kill.
Hitting old what's his name? I don't even remember that guy's name.
He didn't get a lot of screen time.
He didn't.
He just looked old to me.
He did, man. He looked like God.
He's not the guy I want on my back. I mean, he's tall. He's a big dude, but it's just like he looked tired.
Looked like he'd be a receiver for the Cowboys in like the 70s or something like that.
Yeah,
And,
he'd be like who your dad is like. That man couldn't, that's something. He'd go. There you go. No way Patrick Peterson could line up against this guy.
Yeah, just this guy. This frail.
This guy would smoke Patrick Peterson. You kids don't understand. But yeah, and he gets a really fun death.
Yeah, he does with the airport or the airplane, and I love Schwarzenegger's demeanor in that scene too. Can I get that blanket and a pillow? And it's just like he's just gonna hold it kind of thing.
You were very French
Yeah.
In that moment.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, he phrased it to the stewardess like, oh, can I get the blanket to the pillow? I don't know if I can do any better, but... And all he's doing is planning to murder this man.
Right, that's it. He's already 2 steps ahead of him. And we get the great elbow to the head. And
a good old neck break.
And
you believe Arnold could do it.
Oh,
he's so big. Yeah. Like, it's an awkward angle to maybe break a neck, but...
Yeah. And it's not even like the usual movie neck break, the head twist from the chin. Yeah, it's a headlock, and then he just uses his bicep to, like, break his neck or something.
And in the... there's... in one of the variations of the film that got released, maybe it was the European release, it was just an elbow.
Oh, okay.
And then it cut to him putting the hat on him.
I need to see something more to distinguish death. Yeah, I need to see a neck break.
Well, I think you still get to see the reveal that he is dead.
Right, but I wouldn't believe that from just an elbow.
Yeah. I don't know. They were doing that thing in movies where it's like if you hit someone's nose correctly, it goes into their brain all the time, like a palm strike to the nose. We go from there, and we get. Gosh, where should we go to next in this?
I think the gun.
Let's go to
because getting off the airplane is a big deal. So right now, we have this 11-hour window, I believe it is, before the plane lands.
Great, always a great plot choice.
I love that. I love that choice throughout the movie. Is that he has 11 hours before that plane lands, and if Bennett and Avis or Arius find that he's not on the plane, they're going to kill Jenny, his daughter. And so, he has to get off the plane after killing the henchman. And then right when he gets off, jumping into the swamps of the Delta or wherever he's at, he
jumps from a 500 mile an hour
blazer on, jacket,
maybe
and everything.
100-foot drop to it.
It has to be, yeah.
I mean, that plane was... It had taken off.
It had taken off.
Which means it's at a certain speed, which means it's at a certain altitude. Just wild.
It's at least 800 miles per hour or 800 knots, whatever that is, to take off. But yeah, he jumps in there, and I just love. He sets his Casio, sets that. He knows he's got 11 hours.
There's no disorientation to him falling.
No,
he's like he lands on his ass on some reeds in the marsh, and then he just stands up. and He's like, "All right, okay, here we go,"
and he's off. Yeah.
He's off. Blazer didn't even come off.
But yeah, we get to Sully. We distinguish that too. Great kill. And I mean, there's the hotel kill with Duke and everything.
Great
as well.
Fight scene.
Yeah,
and there's a fun just to mention it. They built that set for this part.
Oh, okay.
And so Arnold and Duke could wreck it, and it's a really fun fight scene. And it's great to have Rae Dawn Chong in that because she comments on the absurdity of them talking throughout it.
Yeah,
it's like I eat green berets for breakfast, and she's like, "What the hell are you guys?" I really like that touch. That's like very that has aged so well.
It has, yeah,
because that is what like 21 Jump Street is. That's what like it's just an actual movie of it. So they break through this wall. There's a naked couple fucking.
Yeah,
and if you look, you can see a camera set up.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't notice it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a tripod set up. They're filming themselves.
Film fucking, huh?
Yeah, a little film fucking.
Yeah.
And they're making their movie.
Commando 2, right there.
Commando, literal Commando. Yeah. They are filming themselves having sex. And it's a strange ad, but I guess if the original script had a dildo being pulled out, why not?
This doesn't seem...
Yeah, this is right in line with it. But you're right. And of course, Duke gets impaled on a table.
Yeah.
Table leg. Which is it's not sharp. It's just
it's
a
dull,
flat, but it's pointed. Oof, that'd be a bad way to go.
That would hurt, yeah. Kind of like the Yellowstone, The Post, but she lives in it that you've been watching.
Yeah, you guys watch Yellowstone. Yeah. Marcus is through it. I'm about a quarter of the way through it. Very, very fun.
But yeah, let's get to the gun room. I mean, now they've got all the henchmen out of the way. Mm-hmm. Now he's just got to get to Val Verde, and he's got to be ready for it.
He's got to be ready for it. He can't go to school without school supplies.
No.
And he can't go to war without war supplies.
And he's got a list.
He has a shopping list.
Yeah.
Without hesitation, he gets a bulldozer, breaks into this Army surplus store. Now, I've been in Army surplus stores. I used to love to go to them as a kid. They would sell like nightsticks.
Right.
I used to really want to buy a nightstick, and they would sell tactical gear, knives, maybe some pistols.
Yeah.
Some rifles.
Yeah.
But Arnold goes through, and he gets high-powered binoculars, like all this stuff he's going to need. Tactical vest, a badass knife, and then, as if calling to him, like the moon calls to the tide.
Yes.
He knows something is special about this place. Yeah. And under the counter, there's a button that reveals as if Neo had just said guns, lots of guns. We get an insane